I guess we can get started with say the name of the band for people that might have problems trying to figure it out or say it.
Name of the band is MrENC. But yeah, aka MrENC. Who knows what else there's out there? But yeah, MrENC. For some reason, I thought I was so clever to not put the period in there, and totally dumb move.
So it's MrENC is what it's supposed to be.
Right, MrENC. Yep, totally.
Okay, all right. I was listening to the album earlier this morning to kind of get prepared and kind of go back over it and such. And I don't know how long. I know that you were in Dennison Marrs, right?
Yep, yes, sir.
Yes. I wanted to make sure I didn't say the wrong one. So you've been around a while.
A while, yes.
Would it be wrong for me to say that there is an influence, and maybe I'm completely off, but vocally, you kind of have like a Michael Stand kind of influence? Do you even know who that is?
No.
Interesting. Okay, all right. One of the guys from the Altar Boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the singer for the Altar Boys. I was getting a very, very heavy like vibe of that, but maybe it's just something that you just sound that way. But that's interesting.
I know the Stand. I didn't realize his name. I also got a
well, no. The band is the Altar Boys.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I heard of the Altar Boys. I didn't recognize the singer's name.
Yeah, Michael Stand or Mike Stand as he goes by.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I got Daniel Amos reference influence, or not influence, but sound similar.
Okay. All right. Interesting. You've had somebody say that to you before?
Yeah. Recently with the EP.
Have you heard of? We're getting ahead of ourselves. Have you heard of a band called Ultra Vivid Scene from the '80s?
No.
Yeah, he's in there too. You've got a little bit of that in there too.
Okay. Yeah, and especially with Dennison Marrs, but like older, I got a lot of Bono. Like, oh, you kind of sound like Bono. I think that's just like the timbre of my voice and stuff. But
interesting. Yeah, the guy
there's definite that influence for sure.
Yeah, Ultra Vivid Scene almost sounds like an electronic version of the Jesus and Mary chain, if you've heard of them.
Oh yeah, right on.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard Ultra Vivid Scene, you should definitely head back that way and check it out.
Okay.
Because I think you'd be into it.
Right definitely. On. All right, that day.
But yeah, we'll get started here. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
Oh, I love it.
So I guess kind of go into the band or the project and give us a little history on that and on yourself and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hey, I'm Eric with MrENC. I am MrENC. MrENC is my initials, Eric Nathaniel Collins. This was after Dennison Marrs. I did a little short thing called The Party People, and then after that, I did a project band called The Dark Romantics. And once that came to an end, I was just doing nothing, kind of taking a break from music, working and stuff, and started solo type stuff. Still had a full band sound, but it was all me, writing, recording, producing. So I just called it MrENC. And that evolved. Even though it was full band sound, I was playing shows solo, guitar and some piano, and I had like tracks behind me, like drums and bass and stuff to make it sound full. I got really bored with that. I liked the writing and recording stuff, but I hated the performing by myself. Felt boring to me, and I was missing the energy of everyone. And so I started enlisting my brother-in-law, Dean Lorenz, who was the second final drummer for Dennison Marrs, and then he did Party People and Dark Romantics with me. enlisted him to start playing live. We would go from 2-piece to 3-piece, depending on if we could talk other musicians into performing with us. And then I did a couple of albums and some other random stuff, but still as a solo, but would get people to play with me. And then on this EP, Dean and I wrote together. Mostly I would write the songs and we would just email back and forth. He lives in Orlando, which is like an hour away from me, but it was still easy to send each other demos and the Logic sessions and stuff, which was really fun because I hadn't got to collaborate, you know, writing and creating. And he's my bro. He's my right-hand man. So it's very like very easy, you know, to write with him. And
okay.
So that's how this EP came about. And for me, I can definitely hear the difference. He brought different stuff. I would say, you know, oh, maybe the solo should go like this or this should go like this. And he'd be like, oh, that's cool. Or no, that sucks. I'm not going to do that. And he would try new stuff. And I'm like, oh, my brain doesn't even think that way. So it was really fun and exciting to write with him and to explore different stuff that my brain doesn't go into. And then we recorded at my house. We had a friend here in town that records, and I had him come over and set up. And we just recorded in my house and just went at it. We had pedals all over the floor, and we're making all kinds of crazy noises, and which I think the EP captured that. There's a lot of fuzz and effects and stuff, which I love. I've always loved. I mean, ever since Dennison Marrs, man, I've loved making noise. So I think this EP really brings all of my influences and everything that I've done over the years together. I think so.
Now, who would you say is like your main musical influences, sound-wise? We'll start with that.
I mean, you know, it's changed over the years, but I think stuff that's, you know, as a kid, my mom raised me on classic rock. So there's definitely the bombastic, like the drums and stuff from Zeppelin and different stuff like that. Like my mom, when I was little, my mom, she played guitar and we would set it before nap time and I was on drums and she was on guitar and we'd play to her records. So I think my love for big, loud music came from my mom and classic rock. And then as I came into my own as a teen and later, I really, well, to move back a little bit, as a preteen and teen, I was really more into hip hop, and I loved like Public Enemy and Beastie Boys and stuff like that. So their production had a lot of noise and ear candy and you know what I mean, like crazy stuff. So yeah. It was the same. I still loved big, loud noisy music, and it was just a different genre, but it was still idealistically, it's still there, you know, like the concept and stuff. So then when I get into alternative rock music and stuff, that all that love is still there. So I kind of gravitated towards those bands that were doing that. My wife helped school me on like alternative 80s, which is just like an amazing decade of alternative rock and alternative music. So I can definitely hear that styling and arrangement, craftsmanship in what I do from the influence of like alternative 80s and 90s. And with the EP, we really went hard for 90s, like classic alternative 90s and grunge, post-grunge, space rock stuff. It's kind of come back a little bit. There's younger people that are coming around to it, and I've heard newer modern bands with definitely influence of that stuff. So it's really exciting that there's like my daughter's 16 and she's super into these bands, and I'm like, what? That's awesome. Right. Let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. So yeah, I mean, bands specifically lately, oh man, I'd have to pull up some playlist stuff. I've been going back and listening, you know, like Hum and Sonic Youth, Breeders, stuff like that, and Dinosaur Jr., like to get my mind into the arrangements you know what I mean, and the sounds and the overall feel, you know what I mean, like,
Sure.
you know, like Sonic Youth and Dinosaur Jr., you could probably argue that they only have a handful of songs that, you know what I mean, that are like arrangement wise, but then the overall feel is just like, man, it's just cool. There's a lot of this noise and all this experimentation and loudness, and so it's more the vibe and the attitude, and then so going back and listening to all that stuff, and then listening to what younger people are doing now with the new like the new grunge and new post grunge and just all the new alternative stuff. It's really exciting. It's really exciting to see it all come around together and to kind of meet, you know, and even the shoegaze stuff. Starflyer 59 has always been a major influence on me, and such a good dude, but such great music. And then, you know, like the 90s bands and stuff. It's hard to pinpoint somebody. I'm kind of all over the place. It's like I take from here and I take from here, and I'm like, I really like this, and I like this. I'm gonna put those together, that kind of stuff.
What would you say? I try to kind of go into this, and I know it's hard to pick one, but if you were to have to choose like a desert island thing, where it was you had to take it with you.
Record?
A record. Yeah, a record or
one, or are you giving me like a crate?
How about you give me three?
All right. Dang. Okay, Leave Here a Stranger by Starflyer 59 is my favorite.
Okay.
Which is funny because that's not one of the noisy records, but it's the complete, it just, oh, it's so beautiful and awesome. Oh man, maybe Hum, You Prefer an Astronaut, because it's so classic and it had a big influence on me. Or maybe like Failure, Fantastic Planet was another big one. Just the way that the album plays out with the segues and the sci-fi influences and stuff. Probably a Zeppelin record for sure in there. I'm not good at answering these type of questions.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're just like anybody. You give me 4 or 5 different ones. Okay,
good.
Yeah, I understand.
It's hard.
So, give me a little bit about your connection with Jeff and Velvet Blue.
Okay, cool. That came from Dennison Marrs. Man, I'm pretty sure we had sent him a song when he used to do those unsigned band compilations way back, like late 90s. Yeah. We sent him a song, thought for sure we'd never hear back, and he dug it. We're like, oh my gosh, you know, like this is crazy. We're just little Central Florida boys. Nobody pays attention to Florida, especially Florida music at that time.
So you're out of Florida. So you guys have always been out of Florida.
Yeah, Central Florida. Okay. So for this cool California guy that's in Starflyer and Joy Electric and whatever else to be interested, it was just like mind blowing. And he put the song on there, and then I think from there we talked him into a split 7-inch or a 7-inch or something, which I can't believe we did that. And Jeff, if you're listening, thank you for always letting me talk you into stuff. Listening and watching. So yeah, it came from Dennison Marrs, and we just we would tour together as Starflyer and Dennison Marrs, and then Joy Electric came to Florida a couple times for show or tour or festival, and then Jeff toured and played in Party People for a little while. We did a couple mini tours, and yeah, he put out some Dennison Marrs, like 2 records and a 7-inch, and then Party People. And now back together doing MrENC.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Dennison Marrs stuff. I ran a record store, Pluto Records.
Oh, cool.
And we would do like pop-ups, like in the Dallas area, the Austin area.
Yeah.
And, or what are referred to as pop-ups now.
Yeah.
Back then, back then they were called distros.
Yeah.
But I would carry the Velvet Blue stuff, and I definitely carried the Dennison Marrs stuff. I remember I had the 7 inches and stuff, and
Right
yeah, I mean, good stuff, definitely.
Where was Pluto? Did you have like a brick and mortar too?
Yeah, I had a brick and mortar. It was right off of Burnett Road in Austin.
Oh, in Austin. Okay.
Yes, and I would also do a lot of. I was the guy that did most of the like indie type shows in the area. It was me and another guy, Charles Gates, who actually just passed away. He did a lot of the shows too, but I did a lot of the Joy Electric shows. So I've known Ronnie.
Nice.
I've known Jeff for years and years and years. Because I would book Joy Electric and I would book Starflyer and
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely got a little history with Jeff as far as all this stuff goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, in all the facets of the music stuff, the distro, booking, the whole bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool, definitely cool. I'm gonna head into some interesting questions. You've looked at my site, obviously, so you know that I do music, I do movies, I do all kinds of different weird stuff. What's your favorite movie? What would your favorite, and who would like your favorite actor be, would you say?
Oh, wow. Okay. I know I should have been prepared for this. I'm sorry. I did try to think of the favorite movie stuff because I figured that question would be coming. And I have kind of a funny answer that I think you'll find interesting, I guess. But so I'll pick 2 movies, even though you said 1. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this to stop dinging.
It's all right, man.
That's so dumb. It's so loud. All right. So I have 2 movies, even though you asked for 1, because that's, I like breaking the rules.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I think because I'm an older guy now, it's funny to me, at least, because I think these movies are flip-flopped in my my lifespan of how they should be. But as a kid and a teenager, Blade Runner was my jam. It created it instilled in me that love of sci-fi that I love so much, and noir. And I mean, just that whole look, the textures and everything, and then unbelievable. And
it's okay, man, don't worry about it.
All right. The textures, and I mean the architecture, and this, you know what I mean, like just overall vibe and everything.
I totally know what you mean. That's probably my favorite sci-fi film too.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, as a kid, and I'm just like watching that, and I used to watch it so much. How the heck? But then as I got older, and I like returned to being a kid, in a good way or whatever. The funny one here, I think, would be Scott Pilgrim, which is silly because now as an older guy, I should probably say Blade Runner because I'll look cool and it's dramatic and whatever. And then Scott Pilgrim's obviously like a teen movie, but I think going back, I love it so much because it has music, it has band, you know what I mean? Like people fighting for music and wanting to be in a band so bad, and it works out, but it doesn't work out. And then the comic book stuff and the video game stuff and the tongue-in-cheek sarcasm, even though it's, it was obviously a well-made movie, so the craft is there. So that's my dumb answer, is Blade Runner when I was young, and then now that I'm older, Scott Pilgrim.
Okay, all right. Now, obviously, as a Blade Runner fan, you saw Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah, saw it on my birthday when it came out. I thought that was cool.
How did you feel about that?
I dug it, man. I've yet to revisit it again.
I've only seen it once too. And I really enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was good.
I did. Yeah, I did too. I've been wanting to revisit it, and I get so funny because I'm so like I gotta watch it when the time's right. I can't have people coming in, you know what I mean? Because that's how I was when it came out. I was so excited about it. I'm like, we got to go to this theater and da 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 da. So I haven't wanted to watch it at my house again. Because I'm like, I'm gonna have people walking in and disturbing. I really liked it, man. I thought it was really well done. I actually think the pace of it was a little better than the original. Because now that I've gone back and watched the original, it's kind of draggy here and there. A lot of patience. Takes a lot of patience and respect.
Yeah, it's right. But still, in my opinion, the first one is still flawless.
Okay.
Even with the pacing issues, that
really
either way. I mean, I mean, that movie to me, I've seen it tons and tons and tons.
Yeah, I have a couple different versions of DVDs.
Right. Did you ever get a chance to see it in the theater?
No, I didn't.
So you didn't get to see like any of the retrospect theater releases of it or anything?
No.
Yeah, see, I've seen it. I've seen
cool.
the director's cut two times. I think 2 times in the theater.
Okay.
And wow, that
I would like that. The city that I live in, we don't have any kind of thing where they do like, all right, this, like a special engagement kind of thing.
Sure. I saw.
I need to keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, I saw it at the Paramount Theater in Austin.
Cool.
And it's one of those old style theaters that had a balcony.
Yeah. Yep.
And I saw it on the floor and in the balcony both.
Oh, nice.
And, man, it's a solid experience. I definitely suggest that if you ever get the chance.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for like if Tampa or Orlando does it, I'm gonna drive over.
What about?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was like, no, that would be super cool. But yeah, I did love 2049, and I thought they did really, really good at it. I thought it was cool, super cool.
Did you? So who would like an actor that comes to mind? Who would your favorite actor, or who is an actor that comes to mind that you like a lot?
For the longest time, man, I really liked. I still do, but I really like. This is another silly answer, I guess. But Jim Carrey, when he does the serious roles,
yeah,
like Truman Show and Sunshine and those. My wife and I really like when comedians do serious, heartbreaking roles because she has this theory. It's like comedians definitely have the heartbreak thing down, So they usually end up being so good. But yeah, he was one, and I love his comedy stuff too. But so he kind of pops in my mind.
Cool.
I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody else off the top of my head.
Somebody like him that comes to my mind is like I don't even know if you've seen it. I'm just trying to throw some stuff out here conversationally. Did you see The Cobbler with Adam Sandler?
No, I know what you're talking about though.
Great.
I have not.
Yeah, see, that's a great movie, and it's like that too. He's kind of kooky in it still.
Yeah.
But he's serious.
Yeah. I heard Uncut Gems really good, but I didn't get to watch that yet.
Right. See, that one though, I think that he's really, really trying to be serious in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one to me is like kind of a. Did you ever see the movie Spanglish he was in?
Yes.
Okay, imagine that with his Billy Madison kind of stuff.
Okay.
Where it's like he's being serious, but he's still trying to kind of be kooky too.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't say Billy Madison. Let's say The Wedding Singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Wedding Singer, man.
Yeah, it's like that where he's still kind of being kooky, but it's still a little more serious.
Yeah. I mean, I like some serious guys. I like Benicio del Toro.
Cool.
I like.
Okay.
I mean, even I don't know. I wasn't ready for that one. My bad.
That's
So
okay.
dumb.
What about, we already covered the music.
Hmm.
Uh,
You know who I like? I like Emily Blunt. I like her a lot.
yes.
I think she's cool. I didn't see Mary Poppins, but everything else I've seen, I've liked.
I got to tell you, I was pretty bummed about the Mary Poppins movie because I'm a
Yeah.
huge Mary Poppins fan from the original.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I thought she was going to be perfect in the role.
It wasn't
And
good.
she's not. It wasn't really her. It was more the movie, I think.
Okay.
It just didn't vibe right. It didn't have that same feeling, that I get from
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about? Are you? I don't know if you're into comic books or not, but do you have like a favorite superhero? And
I do.
And who would that be?
I can't.
I know.
There we go.
Yeah,
Batman. Batman's my guy.
Mine too.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that with all the. I get in arguments with friends and stuff, but Batman's been my guy for a long time. When I think I was a teenager, I liked Spider-Man, and I still do. I liked Spider-Man because he was a normal guy, got bit, and now he's got superpowers, but it's not something crazy like Superman or what. He can still be beat,
Sure.
and he's just trying to do good. So from Spider-Man, I went into Batman and have always been Batman. Same thing. But even more so, he doesn't have superhero powers, but he does what he does. And it's dark and violent.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
I've gotten into some other stuff, Swamp Thing. I enjoy Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Especially the horror stuff.
Okay.
When he's taken seriously, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But cool. Okay. Favorite. I don't even know why I'm asking, but you're an older guy like me, so favorite Batman actor.
Oh man. I mean, it's probably Christian Bale.
Okay.
But I did like the '80s Batmans. The second one I love. That's probably my favorite one of the '80s ones.
Batman Returns.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Okay.
And then I have a feeling Robert Pattinson's probably going to be pretty good, so I'm excited about this new one.
Right. How did you feel about Ben Affleck?
I didn't care. I thought he was okay. Man, DC's been killing me. I haven't been able to watch any DC movies, man. So like the Batman versus Superman, I was just like, I didn't like it.
I'm totally with you there, man.
Okay, I was pretty bummed out by it. And just watching, I was just like, what's going on? And then after every DC movie I do watch, I'm just like, why can't they get their act together? It doesn't seem like it's that hard when you have so much money and studio stuff.
Well, not only that, but when you have 80 years of story, you have 80 years of stories with these characters. It's like, seriously, man, you can't just pick one and just stick with it.
I know.
Yeah.
And my buddies and I talk about Batman. I'm always like, why don't they just do a Batman series like how they've done Daredevil or Punisher or any of these? I know they did Gotham and all that, but you could just take comic books and make series different. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to go together. Well, it could be like 2-parters, 3-parters.
Well, but not only that, but I mean, you could literally take the comic books and adapt them right from the comic book. It's like you don't even need writers, man. They've already been written.
I know.
I
don't get it. And I mean, there's like, I have the I'm looking up because my comic books are up there, but like I went back and bought the hardback Batman versus Dracula ones. And I'm like, why don't they make a movie on this or a series or anything? Why is it just sitting there? Or like the Court of Owls stuff is so cool. And
They worked
Oh,
the Court of Owls into Gotham a bit,
yeah,
but yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
like full on. And I think it might have been the Batman versus Superman. There's one part of that movie where I was like, no, that's cool. I think it was that one where Batman's in like an abandoned building. I forgot what he was doing. And he's like up in the rafters and the cops come in or whatever. It was real, almost vampire-ish. You know what I mean? Like, and I was
Right.
like, that's more Batman that we need. It's dark and almost horror, creepy, but you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. I don't know. There's like you said, there's so much material. I don't get it.
My thing with, since you're a Batman guy, my biggest thing, and what I've been telling people for years now, is what I wish they would do is I wish they would make a time period piece 1940s Batman movie
That'd be cool.
and actually go back and make a movie in that time period.
Yeah.
To where he really can't rely on technology.
Yeah.
He relies on his detective instincts, and he relies on, the technology he had then.
Right.
I think
the animated series was kind of that, but he still had a lot more gadgets and stuff. But.
Right. I just think it'd be cool for them to do that, to go back into,
Yeah.
Because they did it. They did it with Wonder Woman, and it worked.
Yeah. This could be this could be the series thing, because if you do a series, you could jump around. You know what I mean? Like, this episode could be the 40s, and this episode could be in the future for like Batman Beyond, and then this one could be. It could just be different tales or whatever.
Sure.
They don't have to be chronological.
Sure, right. No, kind of like what they did. They did a couple of episodes, or one episode, I guess, which was called Tales of the Dark Knight, and or Legends of the Dark Knight, and it was like different periods and stuff, and different like eras. It was on the animated series.
Okay.
I remember there was that episode where they kind of went into the Dark Knight Returns period, the future.
Yeah.
And they also had.
I got the DVD set, but I don't think I've got there yet.
Yeah, there's a movie too. Yeah, right. There's a movie called Gotham Knights.
Yeah. Okay.
And that does kind of the same thing too. There's like an anime version. Different takes and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, did you enjoy Gotham?
Here and there. Oh, it was okay.
I would almost venture to say, and then we got to move, or we'll be doing this all day.
Yeah.
I would almost venture to say, to me, Gotham was like almost perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was raw and it was gritty, but it was also over the top.
Yeah, true. Well, that's good. That's good because it's comic book. You know what I mean? Like, to keep it. Yeah.
I kind of wished that they would have brought Bat Cop into it. Which, if you remember the run that they did, do you read it like on a regular basis?
No.
Okay. So you probably didn't know, like, when Bruce Wayne disappeared and Gordon became Batman.
I did a little bit, yeah. And then, where is it? Is it Batman Year One? Did you ever read that one?
I love, oh, definitely, yeah.
Year 100 too, with Paul Pope, like how that's kind of plays with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely look for. It was a Scott Snyder run.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you right off the bat which volume it is, but you definitely need to check it out. I call it Bat Cop, because basically he's Batman in like a RoboCop suit.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, so if you can find that run, I think you would really enjoy it.
Cool. And I like Scott Snyder.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely. I love American Vampire, and I loved his stuff that he did with Swamp Thing. Definitely.
I need to check something.
Yeah.
Did you like that Joker movie?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Did you?
I did. It was so heavy, like a big bum out kind of bummer heavy type, but I know that's what it's going for. So I had to like shake it off when I got out of it. But that's that's good. That's artistic. So
yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I was against it.
Really?
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I was against it. I was like, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it, I went ahead and gave it a chance just when it came out, like, when it hit digital or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I thought it was great. I mean, I thought that it was done well. And I think that version of the Joker would go perfectly with Robert Pattinson.
I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I'm definitely not against it like I was.
Yeah.
I was totally against it. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, whoa, man, this is actually right on.
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah, definitely.
It was so heavy the whole movie, and then right at the end when he becomes the Joker, it was exciting at that point. And I was like, I don't know, like not a breath of fresh air. That's definitely
no. I know what you're saying. Yeah, and I thought
but
it was
definitely along the same lines as the Christopher Nolan stuff. Like years later, and that's how it would continue on, I guess. But even more artistically done. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is so awesome, anyways. But yeah, I liked it. Super heavy. I probably won't watch it maybe one more time, but it was so heavy. I just felt like I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, man, to get through. I mean, the ending when he escapes and he runs.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I was just like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah.
But
and I would love to see him in a Batman movie, to where the whole movie isn't about him, so he could still be that character and act in a gritty, Batman movie. I think that would be really. I don't know if Joaquin would ever do it, but I could be down with that.
Yeah, playing off of Robert Pattinson, I think he'd do real well.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on, because we could, like I said, we could be doing this all day. So from most of the bands that I talk to are Christian oriented, I would say, or faith based or faith influenced.
Yeah.
And it's just because that's what I grew up doing. And Pluto Records became a record label, and most of the bands that we worked with were Christian bands or Christian oriented bands. So how does your Christianity, if you still adhere to that, how does it affect your musical career and your outside career? Like, if you have a career outside of music, how does it influence that?
Definitely still Christian.
Okay.
The way it influences my music and any other artistic endeavor or whatever project is, I think, like any artist, I draw on my beliefs, and I try to represent them. I've never been on that side of like the preachy lyrics or anything like that. I've always kind of like, from a long time ago, I would look at the way Jesus spoke and taught, and he spoke in parables and stories and stuff. And then like from growing up and watching kung fu movies and stuff, that's how the senseis always taught. You know what I mean? They didn't teach like these straight lessons. They would give these stories or parables or whatever. And it, you know, anytime you have a teacher in school or anything, if that was the method, it challenged your brain, and your brain had to work for the answer, and so it meant more, and you remembered it better, you know, like all that stuff. And plus the way Jesus taught was full of grace, and but also meant what he said and whatever. So I've always taken that and tried to work that through my art. Okay. So if my lyrics, a lot of times I am singing about what I've read or learned or dreamt or thought, you know, whatever, just like any artist. But I've tried to convey it creatively. Right. Like with Dennison Marrs, it was very sci-fi, space rock stuff. So I would wrap up my beliefs and thoughts and stuff through that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And with MrENC, I've done, you know, what analogies, metaphors, or just straight up talking about what I'm thinking. So that's how I approach it lyrically, is just being creative with my message, or whatever we call that. And then the other part of that is I've always felt very strongly about the responsibility that's given to Christians, is to honor God in everything that you do. And I've never really understood that in the generic, like, Sunday school way of you honor God with your music means to just always say the name of Jesus and everything. You know what I mean? And like, sure. I call them JPMs, the Jesus per minutes, which is fine.
Right.
That was fine if bands wanted to do that, but I didn't do that. And I would get yelled at or challenged sometimes, whatever. And then I would also get people that came up and they got it, you know, they understood it and they were encouraged or whatever. But for me to honor God, like the parable of the talents and all that stuff, and then also the New Testament talking about honor God, everything you do, I have always taken that to mean, like, do the best that you can, because that in itself is honoring God. You know what I mean?
Sure, right.
Like, I feel that I'm blessed with the opportunity to make music after all these years. And so when I make music and put it out into the world, that's kind of an offering from me back to God. Like, thank you for this blessing of an opportunity, for any talent that I've been blessed with, and for the skill and craftsmanship that I've worked towards, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so first and foremost, when I make art, it is an offering kind of between me and God. And so I try to do the best I can, because that's honoring God.
Sure.
And then the other side of that is, it is still art that I'm putting out there for people. And so I don't want it to be so unapproachable by someone who might not be a believer or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's not what I'm doing. I've never felt like I was only supposed to sing or make music for Christians. Some people do, and that's totally cool for them. Yeah, everyone needs to do what they feel like they need to do, you know? So I've always left, it's not that I leave stuff open-ended. I definitely mean what I'm saying for me and for whoever is like me. But then some things I leave open-ended for them, for people who aren't believers or whatever, to maybe sit in it. You know what I mean? And yeah. It might come to them or it might not. And that's okay. Like, I had to come to peace with that too, because when Jesus taught, not everybody got what he was saying, you know?
Right.
And I think that ultimately is art anyways. An artist makes the art, and it's up to the people to connect with it or not. And if they don't, it's okay. You keep rolling. And if they do connect, then that's awesome, you know?
Now, share with us, oh, well, actually, no, I did want to let you So what do you do for a living?
Oh, okay, okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you want, if you don't have to tell me. I kind of like to throw that out so people can get an idea, because
Yep.
a lot of people think that, maybe they don't anymore, but back in the day, and we were both there, so you know what I'm talking about. It was,
I already know.
you know, everybody would be like, man, I wish, because I managed embodiment, and I managed like other bands like that, and with my label and stuff, and they would always come up to the guys and they'd be like, you know, man, I wish I could just tour around and play music and just make a living like that, you know. And Mark, the drummer, would always like play off and stuff, you know, because he didn't want to hurt people's feelings and stuff. But he'd always tell me later, he'd be like, man, if they only knew I was a construction worker, man, I'm not just playing drums all the time, you know. So,
that's right.
you know, I try to make the artist, especially these days when everybody tries to be more personable and such and more approachable.
Yeah.
What do you do? How does Christianity work into your everyday, like, what do you do for a living, and how does it work into your life?
Well, for the first, for all of Dennison Marrs and Party People and Dark Romantics, I worked for Pizza Hut, just delivering pizzas and shift managing, like back and forth.
Okay.
Because they would let me leave on tour, and then I could come back. I could come back and still have a job. The way my Christianity played into that is, again, the honoring and the respecting and stuff was, when I was there, I made sure that I kicked butt. You know what I mean? Like, I was going to be the hardest worker. If you want me to mop the floor, I'm going to mop the heck out of that floor. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to make the best pizzas. I'm going to have the best drive times, whatever. And then that's why they're always like, yeah, man, go on tour. Please come back. You have a job. You know what I mean? Like, you're the best one here.
Right.
So, and then nowadays, and for the last, I think I'm on my 11th year here, is I do graphic design. And I did graphic design all during band stuff too. That's how I learned it, was t-shirts and album covers and stuff.
Right.
So now I do graphic design for this national, which is really funny, but a pizza box printing company, which is hilarious because that shows you God has a sense of humor, because I go from delivering pizzas to pizza box art.
That's interesting, man. Okay.
It's weird. So yeah, I'm on my 11th year at the company, and I do graphic design, and I've always done freelance, like I said, graphic design, but that doesn't pay that great usually. So that's always kind of been a side hustle, side money to put away or to pay for emergencies or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much pizza delivery, and then now pizza box graphic design.
Cool. Okay. For any specific company, or do you do it in general?
We do it. I was with an independent company, and a big company bought us out a few years ago, and they do huge ones and stuff, but it's mostly like the smaller chains and mom and pops and stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
Like the Pizza Hut, I think they're huge. Like Papa John's, Pizza Hut, they do like.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if we have them, but I've never worked on their boxes.
Okay. Cool. Very cool.
It's cool, man, because when I first started, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get to design all these cool boxes. And nope, it was not like that. Every once in a while, someone would be like, you want to try something? And I'd do it. And they're like, that's weird. Because I'd try to do some cool retro modern something. They're like, that's so weird. Don't you just have a chef holding the box, making the okay sign? I'm like, yeah, I got like 50 of those. Here we go.
I got what you need, man. You told me you wanted something different.
yeah, exactly. So I stopped trying. And I just boom, 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 whip out the chefs and get paid.
Hey, if that's what they want.
Yeah, but again, the Christianity is do it the best of my ability, honor, you know what I mean? Take care of my family, and not be some weird, flaky music guy that's always flaking out on everybody, you know?
Right.
My wife has definitely helped me with that.
That's cool. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got 2 kids. Got a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son.
Cool. Okay. All right. All right. How old are you?
I just turned 45 in
Okay.
October.
All right. All right. I'm 48. So yeah, we pretty much we came up probably about the same.
Yeah.
In the same scene or whatever you want to call it. You probably were in the Cornerstone and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Are you familiar with Pluto?
I feel like I am.
I mean, you can say no. It's cool. It doesn't matter. I didn't know because we were heavily into there in the 90s, like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I recognize the name. You were down in Austin, and Dennison Marrs never really got to play Austin. We always made it to Dallas, and that's about as far south. I think we came down there on a tour towards the end, and then I never really got to play Austin until like years later.
Well, my store was in Austin, and then I moved the store to Dallas, and that's when we became a label. And we started working with like the local Dallas bands. We had As I Lay Dying.
Yeah. Because I remember all those guys, and we used to play at the Door a lot. At the Door.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know. Yeah. You also played. Did you ever play God's Place?
I don't know. Probably.
I swore you played there too.
Was that Dallas?
Yeah.
We played
Club 412.
I think so. And then we played.
I booked 412, Club 412, but I never booked you guys, so it might have been before me.
But
yeah. But the Door, no, I'm very familiar with the Door. Yeah. The Door was the big one, and then 412 was the big Fort Worth one. The Door had one in Fort Worth, but
I remember that.
Yeah, they moved into Fort Worth. But yeah, I worked with like those guys. We didn't really do a whole lot of like indie rock type stuff. Not Pluto, we didn't. We did Lovelorn, which was a side project of the guys from Esocaris.
I remember the name at Lovelorn.
Yeah, Lovelorn, and they went on to do like Norma Jean.
Yeah.
Stuff like those guys went off into there and Living Sacrifice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we never really did any like indie shoegazer. Like that was more the Velvet Blue thing.
Yeah.
Which I love, man. I mean, Starflyer is one of my favorite bands, dude. I love them.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. Tell me a little bit about what you're wanting to promote. The EP came out technically, I guess, yesterday.
Yeah.
But I think it hit most of the platforms today, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. It's being promoted as hitting today because today is new release Friday. Yeah. I've heard the EP a few times now and really enjoy it. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about that, maybe the recording and what you're wanting to accomplish with that.
To accomplish, I just have a lot of songs. I just wanted to keep putting them out.
Okay.
I just been having so much fun. I did I don't have one on me to show, but I did this cassette with Velvet Blue last year of 6 songs, and had so much fun stylistically going after this fuzzy, noisy, big sound. And then I just kept writing. Like, you get in the zone and just songs keep popping out. And then so I was like, Cloud, you want to do like a 7-inch? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I think I got like 4 songs that I could fit on a 7-inch, like 2 on each side. And he's like, that's crazy. I don't think you can do that. And we figured it out. And I have more songs now. So, I mean, hoping to accomplish, I just love writing and creating music still. And I'm so stoked and blessed that people are still interested. So as long as people are still listening, I'm gonna still keep going because it's so much fun. And I don't know, I'm just having so much fun doing it and working all of it. Obviously not getting to play shows or tour, so hopefully that'll all start happening again soon. I'd like to get out. I'm not looking to do anything extensive, but there's definitely different pockets that I love to hit.
Sure,
from friends from back in the day that I like to just show up and play and hang out and stuff. I'll be doing like some little video stuff here and there, just kind of having fun. I've never really done that before, and now that we have phones in our hands that can actually shoot kind of quality stuff, I have an excuse to mess around with something else.
Right.
But yeah, I think just it's mostly just me having a lot of fun doing it. And people are. Was that?
So you pretty much wrote everything.
Yeah. I
played everything.
On this one, I didn't. On the cassette, I wrote and played everything.
Oh, yeah. Your brother. Right.
My brother-in-law played lead guitars, and I have a buddy that's playing live now. He did the bass, and then a guy that I play with at church for our worship team, he played drums on 2 of the songs, and then I did drums on 2 of the songs. Cool. So the EP was definitely more of like a band effort.
Cool. Okay. So it was more of a collaboration, this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is again more fun for me than doing everything myself in my closet.
Did you produce it though? Like produce and mix it and everything yourself?
I produced it, and then I did not mix it because I hate mixing. It's the one thing of music that I absolutely hate, and I don't think I'm good at. That was my friend Brendan here in town in Lakeland, and he records and mixes stuff out of his house. And I talked him into bringing his gear over. We recorded at the house, and then he mixed. And I love how it came out, how it's mixed and sounds.
Cool.
And then I talked Jason Martin into mastering it, so that was cool to have his hands on it.
Oh wow! So Jason mastered it, huh?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you did the art, the layout, and the art and everything.
Yep.
Cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's in the picture?
Yeah. The cover is so the EP itself is kind of a love letter from me to Lakeland, my city. Kind of just from teenagers and on. I was writing with me and my friends growing up and stuff in mind. All of the local musicians and artists that have come and went. Mm-hmm. And I'm still friends with all of them, and the new generation of artists that are in their 20s that I've made friends with, and they're all doing their thing around town, the different stuff from music to painting and photography, illustration. So the EP, again, I leave it open-ended for anyone, but for me, I'm writing it as the love letter to Lakeland. And so the artwork, it's 4 different photos, and the cover is of Twisty Treat, which is that big ice cream cone building. That's on the north side of Lakeland. Okay. And I used to live on the north side all through high school and stuff, so that was like the spot. That was before we had, new trendy ice cream places that have popped up everywhere. Right. Twisty Treat's just like straight old school ice cream, dip cones and sundaes and stuff, and that was the spot. Like on the weekends or whatever, you go to Twisty Treat and hang out after a basketball game or whatever. Right. And then I did a shot on the inside is a shot of Southgate, which was in Edward Scissorhands and stuff. That's like a iconic spot in Lakeland. Cool. One of the spots is of Skate World, which is the only roller skating place left. And I mean, been going there since I was a kid. Lots of awesome memories. And what's the other spot is, the Silver Moon Drive-In, which is also the only drive-in left. And I mean, again, another spot. All 4 spots is iconic spots in Lakeland that me and my friends and everybody else has been around. So that kind of went in with the love letter kind of vibe.
Right.
Yeah, and then I, made them the overall look. I was trying to go for like a dreamy. I wasn't trying to do nostalgia in a gimmicky way. I was trying to really make it more like a dream sequence kind of feel.
Sure.
With the saturated colors and stuff. And I had some people, I had people comment and be like, "You really like." I've never even been here, but I feel like I've been there with my friends, and then I'm like, that's exactly what I was going for. That's awesome to hear.
Kind of a Twin Peaksy vibe.
Yeah, like the noir kind of vibey stuff, aesthetic. And then with the text, I kind of did like typing and handwriting and stuff all over the photos. That was kind of that was my throwback to. Do you remember in the 90s that big magazine Raygun?
Mm-hmm.
Super huge music and fashion stuff, and
Raygun. Yep.
Yeah, and a couple others that came after that. That was like the 90s feel that I was going for, where it looks like they just took the photos with no regard and typed on them and wrote on them. You're like, what are you doing?
Right.
So I was just trying to bring, again, like I said before, like bring all these influences. Like I like that and I like that, and I'm gonna mash them together how they are in my brain, So it came out good in I'm proud of it, and that's all I can ask for, when you're creating something. Sometimes fail really hard, but this one came out all right, so I was happy.
Well, why don't you, to wrap up, is there anything you want to say to the people out there that support and listen to your stuff, to your music?
Yeah, man. Like, again, as long as people are listening and interested, I'm stoked to create music, man. I love it. It's a huge part of me. Like, I think in all my bios I write like music lover, music maker, and I always put music lover first because it is like ever since I was a kid with my mom. I've been raised on music and in all kinds. So to be able to make music is such a blessing and cool thing for me. And then on top of that, for people everywhere, wherever they are, to want to listen to it and like continue to listen to it and even buy it and support it, that blows my mind. And I'm so appreciative of it and just stoked, man. Like, it's such a cool thing. It's a cool feeling.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, listen, thank you very much for your time. And I'll put something at the end here, a bumper that has your info and such.
Right on. Thank you, man. Thank you for the interest.
All right.
The opportunity.
Take care.